You said you were up there sleeping?
Yeah, I was asleep.
Okay,
Because the man who called for help was standing right there, waiting for them. Calm. Collected. His name is Darron Lee, 31 years old, former NFL linebacker, Super Bowl champion, and somewhere behind him, inside that house in Ooltewah, Tennessee, his girlfriend, Gabriella Carvalho Perpétuo, was lying on the floor. She wasn't sleeping. She wasn't going to wake up. Stay with me on this one, because this case doesn't just get dark, it gets disturbing. Subscribe, hit the bell, because once you hear what he did with his phone that night, you won't forget it. Let's talk about who this man was, because that's what makes this so gut-wrenching. Darron Lee wasn't some unknown face. This was a kid from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who turned raw athletic instinct into a first-round NFL draft pick. 20th overall, New York Jets, 2016. He played 3 seasons in New York, then Kansas City came calling. And in February 2020, Darron Lee stood on a field in Miami and watched confetti fall on his head as a Super Bowl champion. He had everything. And yet, on the night that Gabriella Carvalho Perpétuo needed him most, what he did next will make your blood run cold. He made the call himself. That's important. He picked up the phone, dialed 911, and told dispatchers he had found his girlfriend, unresponsive, on the living room floor. His voice was measured. He said he'd been upstairs, said he came down and found her just there. He said he didn't know what happened. But here's what the 911 dispatcher didn't know. Here's what the responding officers didn't know yet. Darron Lee had already made another call that night. Not to family, not to a friend. We'll get to that. When deputies walked through that front door, they weren't walking into a peaceful home. They were walking into a war zone. A mattress ripped off the frame and thrown to the floor. Glass shattered. And blood. Blood in multiple areas of the home. Blood that had been wiped, cleaned, moved. Someone had tried to erase what happened in that house. On the body cam footage that was later played in open court for the world to see, you can hear officers questioningly as he stands there. What happened to the glass? Why is there a mattress on the floor? And Darron Lee, Super Bowl champion, stares back at them and says, he doesn't know.
Okay. What's with all the broken stuff in there?
The glass just shattered because we left the window open, and so when it got warm, we reheated the house. It just like exploded, so I was just cleaning that up. So that was before I was falling asleep.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna come down and like finish it up on the dustpan, but then I come back down, and then this is what happened. Is she okay? Is she okay?
I didn't work on it right now. So you said that, okay, so explain, so the window was open, so the house froze?
Yeah, it was cold. I didn't know the sheet like had it open, and so that just shattered. But like nothing was like.
Because then when you close the window, turn the heat on?
It just like, you know how it like shrinks and expands. That's all. That's all I know.
Prosecutors stood up in a Hamilton County courtroom, and what they said next silenced the room. They said that while Gabriella lay there, dying or already gone, Darron Lee picked up his phone, and he didn't call his mother, he didn't call a lawyer, he didn't pray. He opened up ChatGPT. He typed a message to an artificial intelligence, asking what to do when someone is found unresponsive. And then, and this is the part that will haunt you, prosecutors say he asked the AI whether stab wounds could be made to look like injuries from a fall.
Describe for the court sort of how ChatGPT she works in terms of the green and the blue, and what overall Mr. Lee is having a conversation in regarding to with Allie, who is ChatGPT for him.
So if you look at the green, it says from user, and it has his name, Darron Lee, owner. And then the blue, it says from assistant ChatGPT. That would be him talking to ChatGPT. It's from him, the user, and the blue would be from assistant ChatGPT.
Between the 4th and the 5th, does he have multiple conversations with ChatGPT?
Yes.
What is he talking about in his messages?
He's talking about injuries to, as he says, a friend of his has contacted him, and there's apparent injuries to his friend's fiance, and wants to know how to go about calling EMS but not getting the police. I wake up and she has 2 swollen eyes. I didn't do anything self-inflicted. She stabbed herself, split her eye.
A man who found his girlfriend unconscious was asking a chatbot how to disguise knife wounds. Let that sit with you. Darron Lee was charged with first-degree murder, tampering with or fabricating evidence. The judge looked at the evidence, the body cam, the blood, the crime scene, and those AI messages, and made one thing crystal clear: no bond. He's not going home. Gabriella's family has also filed a civil lawsuit because for them, the criminal charges aren't enough to fill the hole she left behind. And this wasn't even Lee's first time in front of a judge. 2022, assault accusations. 2025, pleaded guilty to a reduced charge involving the mother of his child. A pattern that prosecutors will almost certainly lay out, piece by piece, in front of a jury. Gabriella Carvalho Perpétuo came to this country with a life ahead of her. She trusted the man she shared a home with. And when something happened to her in that house, the man she trusted most asked a computer how to cover it up. The body cam doesn't lie. The crime scene doesn't lie. And the chat history? That definitely doesn't lie. Darron Lee will have his day in court, but Gabriella Perpétuo will never have another day at all. So I'll ask you this. What do you think really happened inside that house? Because I think you already know. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your theory. And if this story hit you the way I think it did, subscribe, because this is what we do here. Real cases, real victims, real consequences. I'll see you in the next one.